Today I wanted to talk about methods and techniques I use to get organized and to reach my goals faster. If you ever had a problem or you were in a situation where you feel like you're not reaching your goals fast enough, or you feel you could be more productive with whatever you do currently, there are a couple of great techniques that I know and that will allow you to organize yourself and reach your goals much faster. First of all, when you try to do something, I would highly advise that you remove any distractions while you work. So stuff like email, Skype, instant messengers, even the telephone. You have an answering machine, right? There's no problem with anybody getting an answering machine. You can talk to them later. No need for personal distractions. If you work in an office environment, you need to just train everybody in your place of work. If you work for yourself, which you probably will be if you want to become balanced in the future, it's even more pronounced. And you don't need any of the distractions of your Skype or email, because most of the time what happens is people are bored at work. They don't have nothing to do. They have problems at home and they just need to talk to somebody. You don't need to be that somebody. You don't have to listen to their problems while you are actually working towards your goals. The best time to talk to them is during your break or during your off time when you are not at work. If you're hesitant about this, when was the last time you had a really urgent message when you had to act right now? Something that, for example, an email came, and if you didn't act right now, then you would be dead in 10 minutes. Or some dire situation. I don't think it happened ever, or it happened to anybody. And I don't think it ever will. The email that you read as soon as it comes is not required. It's not required to pop up every time the email comes in. It's not that important. You don't need to pay attention to every single email that comes to you at the time it comes. You will read it. You will read it later. You will pay attention to it later. You will concentrate on it, but not when you concentrate on your goal. I would highly recommend switching off all the distractions like telephones, instant messengers, and email. People can get your voicemail, they can get your answering machine, and they can just send an email. Nobody expects a reply from you by email within 10 seconds. No problem if you don't get it or get it later. Now, when you switch it off, trust me, you won't even notice it. But when you switch it off, you will now need to have alternate periods of work and periods of rest. What happens is you just cannot concentrate on one thing at a time for a whole day. It just doesn't happen. What you do is you pick a period of time. For example, you can select periods like 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest. Every time you work for 25 minutes, you rest for 5 minutes after that. And then you take an hour or 2 hour break every 2 hours you work, for example. So in total, 30 minutes periods, which is 25 minutes of work and 5 minutes of rest, and then 2 hours of rest. This is called the Pomodoro technique. You can read about it on the internet. There are some different types of techniques, like for example, people sometimes take 2 hours of work and 30 minutes of rest. It depends on the person. One person is good with 25 minutes and can concentrate very well during the 25-minute period. And some person is going to be able to concentrate on during the 2-hour period. And it's not a big problem for him. But during one chunk of time, remember you need to concentrate on one item you're working with. You don't concentrate on 10 items. You concentrate on only one item, meaning that if you finish one item earlier, you just take a break. Just take 5 minutes break and do not concentrate on anything right now. During your break, you do not concentrate on anything related to your work. You don't concentrate on how to achieve the goal. You don't even think about your goal. You relax. You completely let go of everything that you worked before and you only concentrate on rest. It's ideal if you have no thoughts in your mind at all. And you can think about flowers, you can think about the weather, anything that's not related. Just don't think about work at all. And this is very important. You must not concentrate on work during your break. And after work hours, let's say you finish work at 6, from this moment till tomorrow, you don't think about work at all. You don't even remember what happened at work. Do not focus on anything related to your work. Focus and things you can do to concentrate better, I'm going to discuss them in a separate video, but for now, let's just recoup. First of all, switch off any distractions. This includes telephone, email, any instant messengers like Skype, ICQ, whatever you use. No personal distractions, which means if somebody comes to you and says something, oh, I want to talk to you, or let's discuss this, you don't run away, or you don't scream at them or something like that. You just tell them, we'll talk in 20 minutes. And that should be fine with everybody. Nobody has anything that urgent that needs to distract you. Another thing, you need to alternate periods of work and rest. 25 minutes of work, 5 minutes of rest. Take plenty of rest once every 2 hours or once every 3 hours, depending on you. And while you work, you only concentrate on one thing and one thing only. And while you rest, you do not concentrate on work at all. Nothing work related. You can talk on the phone, you can talk on a Skype. Whatever you couldn't do before, now you can do for 5 minutes or 10 minutes, whatever. After you've done working, you just rest. You don't think about work and you never overwork. You do not work more than 2 hours in straight, and you do not work more than 8 hours in a day. And always have plenty of rest, because chronic fatigue syndrome will catch up with you if you don't do it. You will be tired all the time and you will not have energy to fulfill your goals. Now let's talk about planning your day. If you ever wondered how do you plan your day, there are differences for different people. I find it better to, instead of planning the day in details, to plan just the things you need to do during one day. For example, I will mark 4, 5, 6, don't do more than 10 things that you want to do tomorrow in the evening of yesterday. So for example, if tomorrow I need to do 10 things, I will plan it today and have it written down on a piece of paper. And then just do it in order. If there is any order that's important, do it in that order. If there is no important order, just do it randomly, any way you like. Just take one item from the list and do it. Now, I saw a couple of people that have been highly organized, much more organized than me, and they plan the work in details. They have diagrams with Gantt charts and so on. They have beginning, end to each task. They have allocations and so on. I'm not that detailed. I find it's just too distractive, especially if you're in the business for yourself. You will not have many employees, especially in the beginning. When you're just starting out, what will happen is you will be the only employee you have. So it's not very hard to allocate yourself to every job you have. So why worry? Why worry about scheduling? Just schedule the things that you need to do tomorrow, because you need to know what you will be doing. So you will not be sitting idle thinking about what do you need to do now. Just schedule them ahead of time. And after you did, today, you can start working on them one by one without any distractions. Every day you will have time to fulfill your goals, and in the evening you will have time to plan the tomorrow. And that's an excellent position to be.